So welcome to the We Are ND Nation podcast slash show slash whatever the fuck we're going to call it this year. I'm not really sure. But I am Evan J. Thomas, and with me always is my man, Dennis Stover. And let's see, today's show, we're just going to be talking about basically what the Irish has been doing, the landscape of college football since the blue gold game, the whole mess of this conference. I don't know what the hell you want to call it anymore.
Yeah. Realignment. I wouldn't even say they're not even realigning. They're just moving.
They're just moving. They're taking where the money's going and then just going from there.
It's TV. It's like in my rant last year, I was like, TV really has ruined what college football used to be. I mean, sure, it's cool that next year though is going to be great because we move to the 12-team playoff at least. So there's some redemption there. So nobody can complain now because I'm still fine with the BCS, and even deciding how it was, just like picking your team. If you were undefeated, you can claim a national title. So
exactly. I mean, TCU almost did it, but not really. It is what it is. Obviously, a few years back, we had UCF that was undefeated.
Right. They claimed it. So. Right. And they're like, "Oh, we're going to claim it."
Like, well, we're undefeated. We're a champion. Anyway, so Dennis. I have a crappy white background or gray, whatever this is. You have your Notre Dame one that was given to you by a friend.
Yeah. So before we get going, I wanted to say dedicate this season to a really great, best good friend of mine, Dexter Lott, who passed away on July 1st. And although he was a super fan, like Evan and I are of Notre Dame, his team was Michigan. So I'm not going to say fuck Michigan this year, but we're still going to refer to him as Skunk Bears and everything because we're dedicating this season to Dexter. But we're not cheering for Michigan. I will never cheer for the Skunk Bears. So it's going to be
sure, this one's for you, dude.
Fuck spoiled children this year. And
I think we're going to get a good response out of the guests we have this year on that one for sure. Yeah, especially since we're not playing Michigan. We're playing.
Right. That's another thing. And honestly, we all Notre Dame fans would like to be in Michigan's position right now.
Oh, sure. I mean, what
number two, with probably Harbaugh's best team coming in since he's been there, they're gonna make the playoffs.
So let's start with that. So the rankings, the AP rankings. Do you agree or disagree with being a 13?
I don't see USC as a top 5 team in some of those. I mean, I know Homer ESPN has them probably at number 1. But they're definitely, I mean, it's hard to argue that they're not top 10, but they lost to Tulane in the bowl game. And Lincoln Riley has never coached a defense, even when he was at Oklahoma. And I don't see why that would change now. But then again, we have free agency in college football now. So you just go sign anybody you want with some money. So we'll see. But yeah, I do. I think Georgia for sure. Michigan. I think it's right. Definitely. I might put LSU maybe over Bama, but because Bama's so unsure at quarterback, this is the first time in a long time that
I mean,
unsettled at QB, but you know how that preseason speak is.
Think of who Alabama might actually have as their starting quarterback this year.
Yeah, Tyler Buchner.
So we laugh at that. We also thought
watch him win a Heisman next year.
We also thought he was going to be the savior at Notre Dame last year. So
well, then we thought Phil Jurkovich was going to be the savior too.
And then
I don't know what it is.
So I'm looking at the top 5 right now. Like you said, we got top 5 to me, or top 6, top 7 actually are kind of spot on. Notre Dame to me looks like they should actually be in that spot.
Some people do have them in the top 10.
I was going to say anywhere from 10 to 15, but they're smack dab.
I would say 10 to 15. I don't think they're worthy of top 10 yet, man. They lost to fucking Marshall and Stanford at home. I'm not letting it go until we'll get into that later.
I know it's a new season. I know it's new coaches and players and quarterback and everything like that. But yeah, it's a new season. I actually think they're going to do. We're not going into any.
You're drinking the lemonade.
Yeah, we're not going into any predictions, any games this week. That'll be next week when we might.
Yeah.
I'm hoping our special guest who said they will come on will come on. So hopefully.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'm not going to name the name because I don't want it, if it falls through, to be like, well, you said so and so was going to be on and now he's not. So we're going to not do that this year. So yeah, Notre Dame's at 13.
I'll take it.
We have a brand new quarterback coming out of Wake Forest,
Think
fifth year
that too.
senior. And if he was apparently they said if he was actually at Notre Dame with those stats for his career, he'd be the #1 quarterback of all time
At Notre Dame,
at Notre Dame.
he would beat Brady Quinn's numbers and
I thought that's what I heard
and Ian
somebody
Book
say. I could
numbers.
be wrong. I didn't look it up, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Wow.
But crazy. But I mean, they got a solid offense coming in. I mean,
Well,
solid.
So the camp thing, you know, everybody's always high. Everybody's going to win a national championship at camp.
Sure.
They're the greatest team ever. Blah blah blah. But the one thing that I keep hearing from the reports that I read, you know, on Irish Breakdown and 247 Sports and all that other stuff. Shout out to this guy John Kennedy or whatever. He has his own little, and I just discovered him this year. But he's pretty good. He's pretty insightful. He's pretty good. Anyway, they say they're like their speed, like this team speed is like some Lou Holtz era shit, which is awesome. And they're physical. They're kind of have a mean streak, I guess. They're being very physical or physicality.
Which is something that you've actually complained about to me.
Yeah, they're soft
in back channels the last couple of years where you're like, man,
Mhm.
they don't want to hit, or I mean, there's some, you know, there's always a couple guys that want to, but
yeah, but I want to see all 11 guys.
correct. When you have all 11 on the same page, just like ripping dudes apart,
Yeah.
that's kind of what you're looking for. So is this Al Golden defense or what? What do you think?
See, he's one of the that's who also too. I guess we encompass this all into one. You know, the things that worry me when it comes to the coach is like Chancey Stuckey. He's a fantastic recruiter, but now so at first it was like, oh, receivers are looking good, but now as camp ended and we're getting ready to get to Navy prep, they're saying the wide receivers still struggle, which is good. Maybe it's because we have some really good DBs, but still, I don't understand. The one thing that always gets me is how can all these other schools allow freshmen to play and they excel, and we are getting high rated incoming recruits. You know, it's not like they rode the bench at high school and stuff. They're nationally recruited.
Yeah.
But yet we can't develop them as freshmen. I mean, that seemed to be a thing with BK, and now you know this is Marcus Freeman's team now, man. You know, does he have that? We just can't develop wide receivers. I don't know. And I'm worried about the offensive coordinator too, Jordan Parker.
Well, yeah,
I mean, he inherits. Yeah, he gets Sam Hartman, great. But what's he gonna do when Sam Hartman isn't there and he doesn't have this badass line either? And this all these run. I mean, there's 4, possibly 5 strong running backs that we have, and then that are pushing, like that are really good. So I was kind of bummed that we lost Logan Diggs, but okay, I guess plug and play then. But he was mediocre at West Virginia on a terrible West Virginia team. So, and I hate that old cliche of like, well, you know, he has the Notre Dame players, so will he excel? Well, you know, Tommy Rees had some pretty good guys, and you know, I don't know. He was fine as a coordinator. We'll see how great he's going to be we'll see how good he's going to be at Alabama. But you know, like saying, oh, because they were at a lesser school where the competition is lower, you know, that they can be better coaches at another school because they got better athletes to coach. Well, isn't that anything in life?
Yeah, exactly.
You should be able to, if you want to be a good coach, like the way I always tell people when I cook, it's like you want to be a good cook, you got to polish a turd. You know, can you turn something from shit into something good? So to me, that's a better mark of having a lower program, and you excel at this lower program with lesser recruits, and then you kick ass. So
you have to make.
I'm just worried about.
Better.
I'm worried about him. I hope he doesn't keep it too vanilla and too predictable. Because if anything, a lot of people have said throughout the years that Notre Dame's offenses were predictable.
Which they were. I mean, definitely last year, early on, it was very predictable.
Yeah, well, we were limited with the fucking, you know, the Lollipop Guild with Drew Pine back there under center.
Oh no, we lost Drew Pine. Oh no.
Yeah. He got injured. I mean, I hope he does well and stuff, but it's like that cat should have.
Do you really care if he does well anymore? Because I don't.
No. I mean,
once they leave, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, did you really want Lukovic to like do well? No.
You wish them well in life, but maybe, yeah, not when they play Notre Dame, right?
Exactly. Well, the fun part is Sam Hartman actually gets to play Wake Forest this year.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So that should be a fun. I think it's is it at Wake Forest or is it home? If I can remember.
I think it is at Wake.
I think it is.
I think so.
Ooh, that's going to be a fun one.
Or maybe not, because they're going to North Carolina and South Carolina, so maybe the Wake Forest game is at home.
Could
Oh, you know what? I bet it is. I bet it's senior day.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I didn't look. I mean, I did put the whole schedule together on our website, so we have that up there. So you can check out weareNDNation.com.
From Michigan. Man, I tell you what, this schedule is really nice this year. And not to get ahead to next year, but next year's schedule, they gotta stop this ACC thing with it is fucking horrible. I think the best game, a home game next year is, I have to look. It's a pathetic home schedule. It's
well, the home schedule
terrible.
this year is pretty bad too. You got Tennessee. I mean, to start.
Well, you have Ohio State and USC coming.
Yes, but I mean, otherwise you have Tennessee State, Central Michigan.
That's because of stupid ACC shit.
You have Pitt, which you're always going to have. Wake Forest is at home, so there you go.
Yeah, Wake Forest is
and
at
then
home.
The Navy game is neutral, but you know.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. You know, I like when they played in 2012 in Ireland.
Yeah, I know. And actually, that game is going to be it says 2:00.
2:30, yeah, because the one in 2012 was like 7 in the morning or something. Remember that?
7:30 in the morning because I was out watching.
I was so excited because I was like, oh shit, I could wake up.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like hammered by 11 a.m. that morning.
Yeah, yeah, it's like awful St. Patrick's Day and fucking garbage in Chicago.
So yeah, so we have where's my video here?
I got this. Yeah, so Navy.
Yeah, so we'll go over the schedule next week and
okay.
So let's not really worry too much about So let's get into, obviously we just talked about the rankings and what Sam Hartman's going to bring to the offense.
I think at the one thing, because I didn't touch up on Sam Hartman real quick.
Yeah.
I think I'm excited just to hopefully there won't be, you know how when we were down we had Quinn, but in his junior and senior year we always had this like he can bring us back, you know, he won't make a dumb mistake. Now I have that feeling again. Like he's not that I'll single-handedly win us games because he's a super, you know, Trevor Lawrence, but yeah, he's got experience and he's a veteran in the college world. I mean, hell, he's 24, so
I mean, he's older than Trevor Lawrence right now, I think.
Yeah, no shit. So that's pretty exciting, and I'm excited about Audric and the beef eaters we got up front.
Oh God,
man, that line is pretty sick, dude.
Yeah, and so that's the next thing I was going to hit on. I was looking at preseason All-American.
Preseason, yeah. You
have Joe Alt at offensive tackle. Other preseason award lists. You have
should be first team by the end.
Oh yeah, dude,
he's
going to be probably a top 10 pick most likely.
Oh, I gotta be
easily. You got Benjamin Morrison up for the Bednarik Award watch. They're all watches, so they're not
all watches. Yeah, which are funny to me because it's like then you go down to the Butkus and it's like JT Bertrand and Liafu. Those guys are bums. I mean, they have a lot of tackles and stuff, but Liafu he overran he was so out of position every time. You know, I just don't. We have these. Oh, that's another thing I heard from camp. Is like the young linebackers are studs. I know they have experience, the Bertrand and Kaiser, but they just seem. I just want to get them athletic guys out there, man. And let them just
exactly.
Play, you know, it's just.
So anyway. Some of the other award watches, we have the Walter Camp Award, which is Joe Alt and Sam Hartman. Yeah. Sam Hartman for the Davey O'Brien, and then Audric Estime for the Doak Walker Award.
I mean, I could see Benjamin Morris and Joe Alt, you know, obviously barring injury.
Yeah.
Well, Ben Morrison could have a sophomore slump too. You know, that's a thing. I mean, what's his face didn't have the greatest sophomore season. Kyle Hamilton.
But his junior season then was epic. So there you go. Yeah. So we're not doing this week. We're not going to be doing our, name that former ND
Usual
player.
format, right?
I don't want to put that on Dennis this week.
No, only when the players are around and then
I want to
show.
embarrass him next week.
Yeah,
So,
that's
and actually, I like your idea of giving a 3-player option in that.
I just was trying to look a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you 3 options of who it could possibly be. I mean,
All right, that's
you're
'cause
almost.
I mean, I
gonna
could
name-
cheat and use my phone, but that's not fun. I
You
like to really try to
could.
think if I remember.
You
Right, I
could.
didn't once last year. I did not once. Full,
I believe
though I-
you because
yeah.
you lost most of them, so that's probably
exactly. And it was sucked too because I had the 2 in my head, and I think on 3 or 4 occasions I gave the other guy the right answer, and I gave.
Well,
so anyway.
the worst one
The
was
wrong
when
answer.
they gave you Lee Becton when Lee Becton.
And Lee Becton was on there. Yeah. What a punk, man. He'll probably never do the show again.
No, he will.
I felt so bad.
That was a dick move on my part, but it
Yeah,
was
ass. Set me up big time, man.
because you're like, there's no way you're gonna say it's gonna be Lee Becton, but it was.
And it was.
All right. So since there's no name that former ND player, Dennis, what do you think of the uniform staying as Under Armour?
It's kind of garbage. I was hoping for the jump, man. I guess,
So was
You
I.
know,
That's
you
what
know, I mean, why not, man? Like, it's fucking Michael Jordan.
well,
Even
here's-
Nike I would have even been happy with Nike. Because Under Armour is I guess they've gone down too. And lo and behold, their cleats, which I think a lot of players don't wear the Under Armour cleats. They wear a Nike or other brand, but they're not good. There's a lot of injuries. I guess there are injuries in Under Armour cleats more than other cleats.
well, there you go.
Statistically, yeah, numbers don't lie. So
So there was a social media post before this was all announced that, you know, they were going with Under Armour. And it was from the group Los Leprechauns or Dos Leprechauns. So it's the people that do that. So they were saying nobody goes out looking for the newest Under Armour shoes. They're always looking for the new Jordans.
right.
That right there makes 100% sense.
God, that's the best right there. I know. I'm kind of tired of Swarbrick, man. Get his ass out of there finally.
Well, we got what, 1 year left of them.
Yeah.
So
And
then- Hopefully that, but they signed what, a 10-year deal with them?
yeah, I guess it was cool at first.
I mean, I do
But-
really like the green shoes that I have that I bought a couple years ago from Under
Yeah.
Armour. They're very comfortable.
You
They
brought green cleats? Oh no, you're just saying Under Armour shoes.
yeah, they're green and gold shoes, right?
Oh, okay.
But they're pretty.
And then another thing that they don't do, all that swag, like Freeman, like you see the coaches in like super awesome gear and stuff,
They don't,
they
put
don't
those up
release
for-
that to the public.
Exactly.
So, what do you like? Fuck off, Under Armour.
Why? I don't get that
All the
either
way
because I
off.
remember back in the day when Brian Kelly was wearing certain things on the sideline. I'm like, I want that pullover. Couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell, man? And then
Yeah.
well, Marcus Freeman just looked like a fucking stud in anything anyway. So
Yeah, he's pretty pimp.
Yeah,
He's-
so he
he's a pretty pimp dude.
rocks a hat really well too, which is. pretty
Yeah,
cool.
and there was some footage and stuff of him from camp and everything, like not having the, nice things. Well, he had nice things to say, but he put a lot of making sure there was enthusiasm behind his words.
Gotcha.
A lot of F-bombs and shit, which is awesome. Fucking
So-
you gotta get those kids.
Speaking of these uniforms, Notre Dame released that they're gonna be having a new jersey for the Ireland game against Navy. What did you think of that? To me, it was just, all they did was add the little.
Yeah, they added the gold thing. Okay,
Yeah,
cool. I mean, I don't know.
that was it.
I'm over the whole alternate uniform thing. The Shamrock, I can't think of really one nice Shamrock series uniform that I enjoyed. I mean, they all have like nice elements and stuff and good ideas.
Was it the one last year that was gold and white?
That was pretty sweet. And the one
like-
when they played in Texas, I think it was Arizona State a couple years back, and it was white too.
Green? White and green.
Yeah,
right?
white and green.
That's the other one that I like too.
My favorite alternate uniform that they did was, in this game pains me, is the Michigan game where we had the lead. We were up at like 3 scores going into the fourth quarter and we lost.
Okay.
Remember that? And there was the throwback uniforms that had the Shamrock. Those things were sweet. The Michigan game.
Oh yeah, that's
Where-
like the gold helmet with
Robinson.
the like really shiny green shamrock.
Yeah, those uniforms were sick.
Those are good.
I'm tired of the green all the time now because it was meant to be,
Special.
yeah, and it's not special anymore, especially when you're going to wear it. I mean, yeah, they're winning against Ohio State, cool, and that's another thing. They wear it against these schools, and then they get fucking pasted.
That's
Watch
the
them get
problem.
waxed against Ohio State, and that's what pisses. It's like, okay, cool, good job, guys. Like, and not only that, but ever since we went to that, and granted, it was a terrible year, but was it the 07 team that we went to the USC and Notre Dame game, and they busted out the 77 throwbacks.
That was.
And I
the
think
year
USC
went
scored
to,
77 points. It was like 77 to -10, I think it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
They went backwards.
Because I went to, I think, 5 of those games that year, and they got, the first game was what, 35 to 3?
Yeah, that was the year they started Demetrius Jones, right?
And then he left after week 1. They got slaughtered by USC. They lost to Navy. I mean, it was just, that was a
Yeah.
We'll
never go through that again.
That was definitely a bad season. All right, let's stop talking about the bad.
Yeah, stop reminiscing.
Let's talk
But
about
no,
the bad
the
shit.
Under Armour sucks.
Let's talk about more bad shit, and that's a conference mess that's going
Yeah.
on with all these teams. Kind of, I don't know what the hell is going on, and it just seems like the Pac-12 is now the Pac-4 as of like next year.
I mean, they can't. How can they exist? They'll probably end up. I mean, nobody wants. They're great institutions as far as academically, but does anybody really want Cal and Stanford? They're not like athletic powerhouse. Granted, they have good athletes and stuff, but I mean, who wants them? And then there's Oregon State, and who else is left?
Washington.
No, Washington went to is going to the Big Ten.
Okay, that's right.
Remember, Oregon and Washington are going to the Big Ten.
Forgot. Oh yeah.
What gets me though is they're not. It just goes to show you, like, and it sucks. That's why they just need to make it a semi-pro league, because think of the other athletic programs. Like, nothing sets the world on fire like Rutgers versus fucking Washington. Who wants to see that fucking game?
Well, here's how I was thinking of it just the other day, and actually this kind of came up, was what you kind of figure that these super conferences, which is basically what it's going to be, you're going to have 20 teams per like 3 conferences of the 60 biggest schools. That's basically,
and it's like the Big 12 hung on. So you got the Big 12, the Big 10, and the SEC.
and then whatever happens to the ACC, which looks like teams are going to be.
It looks like Florida State and Clemson, they're going to go to the SEC, and then Notre Dame better get out of the ACC deal.
So you've been
Notre Dame.
Go ahead.
I think they should still join a conference, even after next year, for the simple fact that, yes, 12 teams will get in, but there's 5 automatic bids. So if you win your conference, you're in. You get a first round bye.
Exactly.
So why wouldn't Notre Dame want a first round bye? Why wouldn't anybody want a first round? 2,
I don't understand.
Notre Dame has to go absolutely perfect, because even, let's say, if Notre Dame has, like, say for example, it was a 12-team playoff this year, right? And Notre Dame loses 2 out of the 3 big, right? Say we beat any of the, probably either Ohio State or USC would be better win than maybe Clemson, depending on how Clemson is. I think Clemson's going to be back a little bit, maybe.
Sneaky good.
Yeah. So anyway, so what if we were 10-2, but we got those 2 losses were blowouts, and then let's say one of those blowouts, Ohio State lost and didn't win the Big Ten and stuff. So a 10-2 Notre Dame team, and it could be one of those years where there's a Tulane and those other schools, a UCF, because they're going to have more of those, right? What if they look better than ND? So ND is not necessarily guaranteed, even at 10-2, I don't think, because it depends on how bad the losses were, and maybe they don't have any. Maybe out of those 10 losses, there's one good one, and they just snuck by at home. Do you know what I'm saying? So join a fucking conference, man. I can't believe I'm still, I'm excited because a 10-2 team could get into the playoffs for Notre Dame, depending again how it is and stuff. A 12-0 team will obviously always get in, an 11-1 team. But even on the chance, like, say, what if they went 9-3, but the 3 losses were like 1 point at home, like really close. And if they had a conference, they you know what I'm saying? They could win the conference and still get in as a higher seed.
I totally agree with you. You're just talking to the choir right now, man.
Yeah, I just don't see any other reason. I'm you know what it is, Evan? I'm really tired of the hubris of Notre Dame. And you know how much I love this.
It's ego.
I'm just sick of I'm sick of the ego. I'm sick of nobody does it like Notre Dame. Well, guess what? It's 2023. Nobody should do it like Notre Dame anymore because you guys are getting left behind. You're missing out on these stud. I mean, Justin Scott from Chicago. How do you let this kid get out of there and get to Ohio State? You know.
Well, NIL money helps too.
That's what. Well, again, just like the story there, like I said in our little text thread, if everybody's doing it, who gives a fuck?
Well, not just that, but you mentioned on text with me a few months ago the article with Swarbrick where he was complaining.
Complaining.
Where he looked. Well, I get it. I mean, there's been a lot of coaches that have complained about it, but when you're the AD, when you're in charge.
Exactly. He looked really soft. Yeah, he looked real soft. You don't like reveal what's going on in the house. You don't like, you know. You
don't need to know your exact thoughts on that because to us, like you said, you look soft. You look weak.
Yeah, and then he wanted to go to Congress. Man, get Congress involved, man. They can't even get their shit together to begin with. You want to bring this to Congress? Come on, man.
Exactly. So it's kind of dumb, but my final point with the realignment was these super conferences are basically going to overtake the NCAA.
Yeah.
The NCAA be like nothing, and like you said, they're going to kind of be like a semi-pro leagues.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Well,
it's only getting.
Just look at it. That's basically exactly where it's going. I mean, these kids are already getting money, so they're getting paid. You know, semi-pro right there to begin with, because really, how many other colleges or sports are actually paying some of these players this much money? Maybe the basketball, maybe some.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a couple NIL in that. Well, that Caitlin Clark from Iowa got NIL money. She's making more money now than she would in the WNBA.
Most likely, exactly. So there you go. So it just depends on. So again, semi-pro. So she's hitting it off right there just with that. But yeah, it's going to be basically 3 super conferences, and then they're going to split off and do their own thing.
Yeah, and Notre Dame will be like an FCS school if they don't get their shit together. Right?
Exactly. So that's why
it doesn't like college football doesn't need ND anymore. Yeah, they bring fans and they but like still Texas and Ohio State are right up there, if not higher than ND. And the whole TV thing now. Not only that, but like Big Ten football, Big Ten Saturday nights on NBC now. So it's just I don't know. I would rather have 90 million than 60 million. I don't know. Call me crazy.
I love watching Saturday football after Notre Dame anyway. Like last year, one of my favorite game of last year was Alabama
Tennessee.
That game was awesome.
That game was awesome. That was my favorite football game of the year. Yeah, absolutely.
And just that, but that's the thing. Look at those 2 stadiums that they play in, those 2 teams. I mean, Tennessee is what 100,000.
I think Tennessee's over 100,000, and then Bryant Denny's like right at 90, high 90s, right under 100,000.
Then obviously you got Michigan, which is like 118 or 120.
The Horseshoe.
So which I've been there and it was pretty fucking cool, but it's huge when you're standing in that.
Yeah.
Oh man, anything else you want to hit on today before we head out?
No, I mean I'm excited, but I don't know we're gonna do predictions and stuff next year, so I won't. Yeah, I hope the positive things that I've heard out of camp are true and not just the typical we're gonna win the championship in preseason because everybody is.
Yeah, even the Chicago Bears say that, and that's not gonna happen. So there you go.
Yeah, the Bears. But anyway, how about the Braves cracking on the Yankees, man? Love it.
Kicking the ass of them New York teams, man.
Man, it's great. They had such high hopes. It's so funny because I live here, and one of the guys that work at Andrew, he's born and raised. He's a great dude, but he loves the Yankees, man, through and through. And so we talk because he plays fantasy football, but I know he's secretly a Braves fan inside, man. Because who doesn't love Acuna Jr., man? Everybody loves that guy.
Except for anybody who's been hitting them lately, which is a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, that's the manager, man. Or some
weak sauce,
soft ass pitcher.
So just a little going forward of what we got going on this year. Obviously, you can find us on the social media. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We have our website, We Are ND Nation. The podcast is going to be seen basically on
Yeah.
Friday. New episode dropping on Fridays. Dennis and I are going to be recording during the week. We're going to try to get on some guests here and there. Like
Don't
I
forget, you said we're
couple
gonna be picked up by somebody, picked us up or whatever?
Yes, I was just about to say that. Chicago
fantastic.
football, or I'm sorry, collegefootballdogs.com. So
Awesome.
they're an outlet that actually covers all of college football. And they reached out to me saying that they were checking out our podcast and they want us involved. So
That's so great.
apparently I'm going to be writing articles for them and doing video and then obviously doing the podcast.
If they need opinion pieces, let me know. I'll write one.
Yeah, dude, you can always do like a little opinion blip or something on your phone and send it over to me and
Yeah, for
add
sure.
that in there because they'll definitely love it. But yeah, it's collegefootballdogs.com and that's their social media as well. So they're all over there. And then, like I said,
Nice
we're
job.
gonna be on every Friday when we can hopefully make it happen. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I mean, there might be a couple instances where I will be working on a Wednesday, so
So we can
but I'm
try to
gonna
do
try
it
to
during the
keep 'em
week or
open.
another day or something like that too. But we'll
Yeah.
definitely get a new episode every week. And then this way you can kind of keep on tabs with us. Just know that we do swear and we don't care.
yeah, we do swear.
If you don't like that, you know what? Go
That's the beautiful thing, is like with anything else
watch
in life.
ESPN or
You
something.
don't like the restaurant, you don't have to eat there. You don't like this show, you don't have to watch it. That's the beautiful thing about choice.
So here's a fun thing. If you want to watch stuffy dudes with suits and ties,
Or
that
Pat
don't swear.
McAfee.
Man, don't get me on Pat McAfee because you know I like the guy, man.
Guy's a chode.
But if you want
And
to
he got a sweet new deal at ESPN
that's awesome. I
to
can't
act
believe
like a knucklehead.
That's right. I like acting like a knucklehead too. It's fun.
Yeah, man, I get it. I don't want to be a stiff either, but like, I just don't like his shtick. His shtick, you know, it's like, look at me, I'm fucking Shucky the Clown.
Look at me, I got
everybody.
Got Dennis Storm over there, yeah. Got Evan J. Thomas over there, yeah. How he does it, yeah.
And plus, I just don't like. He seems like he's borderline, like to the. I'm not gonna get into politics, but
Yeah,
just like,
I see where you're going.
you know where I'm going. Yeah,
You don't want to get into that because that's not
yeah, no. So, but anyway,
awesome, dude. But yeah, make sure you follow us everywhere. Obviously, we got Dennis Peast over. You got Evan J. Thomas over here to the middle.
go Irish.
And until next week, when we'll have our preseason show where we're going to go over our picks of the season per game and see if
Awesome.
hopefully our guest joins us and they can help us out as well and see what we can do.
That'll be great.
Make them laugh at the end when we say fuck USC.
Fuck SC. Fuck spoiled children.
So until next week, Dennis, thank you, sir.
Thank you, man. Go Irish.
Go Irish. And
Fuck SC.
there you go.